Current teaching practices. The most characteristics of developmentally appropriate practice. Age appropriate. Teachers consider the social, cognitive, physical, and emotional development of their students to design classroom environments, plan lesson activities, choose materials, and assess learning. Individually appropriate. Teachers consider each child's unique pattern of development in order to provide classroom experiences that allow a child to grow at his or her own pace and to move ahead successfully. Meaningful learning experiences. Teachers provide active learning experiences that allow for direct sensory involvement on topics that are personally interesting. For example, students write their own books, conduct real experiments, or manipulate objects. Invested, responsible learners. Teachers share responsibility in decision-making with students. For example, students are given the responsibility to make decisions about curriculum content, activities, and assessment. Learning style instruction. The Myers-Briggs style comparisons: extroversion, introversion, sociability, territoriality, breadth, depth, extensive, intensive. Gregoric learning style preference patterns: concrete, sequential, structured, methodical, deliberate, concrete, random, intellectual, logical, and rational, abstract, sequential, emotional, perceptive, psychic, and abstract, random, intuitive, instinctive, impulsive. Personality colors teaching styles: orange, unstructured discipline, spontaneous, hands-on; blue, nurturing, instructional variety, individualized; green, disciplined, discussion, thinking stressed; gold, firm discipline, lecture, traditional content. Dunn's learning styles: environmental, sound, light, temperature, room design, emotional, motivation, persistence, responsibility. Structure: sociological, learning by self, pair, peers, team, varied, need for adult physical, perceptual, auditory, visual, or tactile. Zenhauser and Global, or analytical hemisphericity. Global likes working with others, needs big picture, reads for the overall idea and skips details, likes team competition, likes humor, hard to take feedback, sees relationships. Analytic works alone, remembers details, likes independent projects, wants feedback, concentrates on the task at hand. Left and right brain polarities: left side stimulation or right side stimulation. Left side is verbal learners, ordering and sequencing, copying and filling in planning. Right side stimulation is visual spatial learners, random exploration, and drawing. Instructional model blending. General models. Great teaching comes in many different packages. Mastery teaching, the Hunter model. Anticipatory set. Anticipatory set is the result of an activity which occurs during a time that students are physically arriving or mentally shifting gears from the activity just finished. Objective and purpose: students acquire new information about the knowledge, process, or skill they are to achieve. Modeling is seeing what is meant to be key here. Learners are given several examples modeled by the teacher in order to perceive the process or product they are expected to acquire or produce. Checking for understanding. In this step, the teacher checks for the student's possession of essential information and observes the student's performance to make sure they exhibit the skills to achieve the instructional objective. Guided practice. Students practice their new knowledge or skills under direct teacher supervision. Teacher is present to help with questions so that perfect practice makes perfect. Independent practice. Students practice without the availability of the teacher. Here, the students should not be given homework unless the teacher is relatively sure they can complete at least 80% of the problems correctly. It does no good to practice the material incorrectly. Closure. The lesson is reviewed and summarized